What's up everybody, welcome to Paper Battles. Today we're going to be taking a look at good old Black Purple Luffy versus Blue Purple Luffy. It's a battle of the Luffys. Who will come out on top? It looks like Blue Purple Luffy ends up losing the die rolls, being forced to go second. Good old Black Purple Luffy, could go first, could go second. It doesn't really matter to them. Their curve kind of works out regardless though. If they do end up playing Pure Luffy on their next turn here, it will not have an effect, because good old Blue Purple Luffy will not have enough Dawn. But potentially we could see Blue Purple Luffy actually ramping into a state where they could honestly have enough Dawn to allow Pure Luffy to check. This is honestly one of the best matchups for Purple Black Luffy to go first, just because it is very often that Blue Purple Luffy will ramp on that first turn, meaning that this Pure Luffy that they're going to be playing on their 7 Dawn now turn is going to be active, because it does require your opponent just to see a 5k or less. But instead it looks like we're just going to swing one, just attach one, swing 6 instead. Maybe we have a different play here. Could have a Sanji in hand instead, just to clean up the Bond Clay. Bond Clay being a little bit of a sticky threat here later in the game. Once we kind of hit 7k to 9k as a threshold, it could be swinging pretty hard back into Purple Black Luffy. So just going to clean that up with the Sanji and swing back over to Blue Purple Luffy's turn. Blue Purple Luffy just gave a nice little 1k counter to get out of that here, and we're gonna go up to the good old 6 or 7 Dawn turn for Blue Purple Luffy. Still gonna be another 2 turns if they don't ramp here before they're gonna start getting leader ability to look at the top 5. We're gonna see a good old 8k gonna take that one. Then a good nice little 5k. This could be a Nami coming into play. It looks like it is in fact a Nami, going to let them draw 3. Notably, they did not ramp this turn, which means next turn they're not going to get the leader ability just yet, because that does trigger at the start of turn right before Dawn Collection. So not going to be able to look at the top 5 just yet here. So I think they're kind of mapping out their plays on this next turn. The Nami on the turn before going into the 9 Dawn turn is pretty solid still. It could allow them to play the Sanji still on the 9 Dawn turn, and allow them to put something pretty cool into play based on what they had in their hand and what they could potentially see off of Nami. Going up to the 8 Dawn turn for the Luffy player here, we're likely going to see Beer Luffy come down at this point, just to start bumping up that leader, keeping it at a 7k, which is pretty good against Blue Purple Luffy. Blue Purple Luffy often, once you get into the later sides of the game, it's going to just be swinging 6ks into lead, and if your leader's a 7k, that Luffy leader swing not going to do a whole lot. We're going to see a little 6k, going to take that first one. Gonna now play out the Beer Luffy. Gonna go ahead and -2 Dawn, and then leader effect lets you set one up, set one tapped. Now we've got a 7k leader and a little bit more Dawn to work with here. Do we have potentially another play? No, instead we're just going to continue to poke here. Going to be a 6k into lead. Continue to just try to hassle Luffy's hand size here. And it looks like now we're going to see an 8k into lead here. It could require 2k, 1k. Only 5 cards in Luffy's hand. They could also potentially just go down to 1 life. That is potentially scary based on what they've seen on top of their deck and what they have in hand, with them not having leader ability on this next turn. We're going to see just the Searcher Law come down. I'm going to grab a Sanji, and we're going to run into the races here on Luffy's turn. They're at 7 Dawn at the start of the turn, which means they do not get leader effect just yet. Now they're up to 9, so if they put something pretty nice on top, we could see a Sanji come into play and drop that card right into play off the top of their deck. We're going to see a 6k swing into the Zoro here. Going to give a 2k counter. Going to try to prioritize board control here and board presence. And we see a 9-drop Luffy off the top. Pretty solid into the Sanji play. Going to -1 Dawn and draw a card. Try to refill that hand a little bit here. Maybe trying to get a little more counters, since they don't have any counter events currently working with. We got, just a little confirming how much Dawn is left here and how much we played. Just going to be swinging a nice little 10k rush into something. I think we're debating if it's going to Sanji. Yep, just going to clear up Sanji. Don't want to give up 3 cards for that. And now passing back to good old Black Purple Luffy's turn. They've got Beer Luffy set up, which is pretty solid into this here, as it's going to allow them not to have to commit so much counter power to get out of these swings here. A whole lot of Uso Hachis in hand as well, which is a potential way for them to just tap the Nami and really just start hammering life here. Especially on a turn when Luffy doesn't have any Dawn up just yet, right? So no Gum Gum Giants potentially coming into play to save himself and cycle through his hand. So it's all just raw counter power at this point. And we see a Frankie in the front of the hand here. The only kind of, awkward part about Luffy is once you start minusing 2 Dawn more than once a turn, the amount of Dawn you're going to see on a turn is definitely going to dwindle here, especially with the Gum Gum Giant coming into play. Could potentially minus at least 4 to 6 Dawn on a turn, which is a little insane here. Luffy's leader ability obviously allowing you to get back 2, but you can't recoup any of the other ones here. We're going to see an attach one on lead here. Is this going to be another Luffy, another Sanji coming down to clear another Nami? That could be pretty darn good here. And we'll see what comes down here. Looks like we're going to see another Sanji. Yep, exactly that. So perfectly had both Sanjis to clear up these early annoying threats. And now it's just kind of ready to go to get pretty aggressive. And start swinging some big swings into Luffy. Try to 2K check the Luffy here. Because we can swing 7K with the Luffy on board, the beer Luffy. We can swing 6K with the Zoro, right? So we can ping like 6K, 7K, and then at 8K, right? We can just climb up the ladder here and just try to get some hits in. First one's going to get a 1K counter. We're going to see another -2 Don for beer Luffy swinging 7K in the lead. No 2K just yet here. And now we're going to swing 8K. This is the time to get the 2K, 1K. And we're just going to take that one as well and pass back here. And now we've done it. We're at the start of turn. We are at 8 or more down. We're going to look top 5, grab ourselves a Straw Hat card. Looks like a Red Rock potentially out in hand. Maybe to get rid of the beer Luffy. But hey, if I'm the purple black Luffy player and my opponent on blue purple Luffy decides to spend their turn red rocking something, I'm incredibly happy, right? That means they're not establishing a huge board presence, they're not healing off a Big Mom, so I'm not too upset if they decide to go for that kind of play here. And they're going to draw for turn here, and looks like they might have made maybe they don't have a Sanji in hand, or might have potentially made a snafu, as it looks like they just drew a Big Mom for turns. Maybe they should have. It's possible that they messed up the mapping of the top of the hand, but Big Mom into hand means it can't come off of Sanji, especially with picking up the Red Rocket. It looks like very interesting play on the maybe a little bit of a misunderstanding or misuse of what they're planning to do. But hey, maybe they got a bit of the Big Mom on top, and it looks like they do, so it doesn't even matter, right? So it looks like it was just Red Rock and then double Big Mom in the top there. So ultimately adding one Big Mom to hand, not a big deal, but it basically shows you that potentially there was not like any good counter in the top 5, right? For them to not just put the counter on top and leave the other Big Moms here. But Big Mom does allow them to stabilize a little bit here. And they can put the blocker of the Frankie blocker back into life, so now they can just start swinging on the board. We're going to see a 10K into the 7K Luffy here. We're likely going to see a 9K into it as well, and then we'll see what else they decide to do. Likely, because they're in such a weird spot right now, definitely going to leave one up for Gum Gum here. But we're just going to let the beer Luffy go. We're not going to fight over it yet. The 10K would require 2K to get out of, and then the Sanji would have required 2K, 1K, but instead just gonna opt to save the Zoro. Zoro, been clinging to life this game, not going down without a fight. Just gonna continue to ping throughout this turn. We're gonna see a 9K now going to Zoro, and Zoro, no longer wanting to cling on to life, decides, no, I'm done, and jumps into the yard. Don't really want to commit 3 cards to save that. And we're going back to Luffy's turn here. Not a whole lot. Looks like a whole lot of Gum Gum Giants in hand right now. A whole lot of counter, but not a whole lot of ways to get on board. Does look like he has another beer Luffy, so he could play that out here. But there is a bit of a thought here of just, playing the Gum Gum. Yeah, there we go. Playing the beer Luffy. I was thinking, like, what is he? Is he gonna just stack some Dawn, potentially try to, get the Gum Gum Giant out? But instead, we're gonna play the beer Luffy. Gonna attach to return 2, get 1 back, rest in 1 active, 7K leader. So I think he's just gonna continue to just ping. Pinging would be a pretty good strategy here. Maybe leave 2 Dawn up for double Gum Gum Giant to try to survive. He's at 3 life. He's not. This next turn could get kind of scary, but he's still with at least 2 Dawn up. He's definitely gonna feel pretty protected here. And Gum Gum Giant makes this turn a little awkward. You definitely want to just force it out of him here. So we're just gonna swing an 8K into lead here, and see what we have to do here. Likely going to be like an 8K, maybe an 8K, potentially leaving 2 Dawn up for 2 Gum Gums. We're going to see 2K, 1K come out of leader here, which means Gum Gum Giant is still here to stay. And now we're going to swing a nice little 8K at lead here. Does he have the Gum Gum Giant, or is he absolutely bluffing? It looks like he is absolutely bluffing. No Gum Gum Giant in hand. The 1 Dawn is just for show. And he could have potentially, if he saw through the bluff, could have gone for game that turn, but obviously not the play you want to make. It's more often than not they're going to have it, especially when they draw 2 cards a turn. Look at the top X, and it looks like he bottoms it, so just completely blind. Maybe there was just not enough in the top there, and looks like a Gum Gum Giant off the top though, so That's pretty good, pretty solid. But Sanji is completely blind at this point. Could put anything into play. Likely not what you want to be doing for this. But we're going to see a 9k swing. Going to go ahead and take that one. Looks like a Kaido comes to hand. Another 9k swing at lead here. I'm kind of opted to take at least one more before we start Gum Gum Giant being, but it looks like we're going to go for 2k, 1k, which is pretty solid. Going to move up to 10, and then we're going to go another 9k. Again, this might be the time to Gum Gum Giant. Very interesting that they're kind of doing this at 2 life, but it's, there ain't no time like the present. Going to take that one instead. And now we're going to swing 10k here. This is definitely going to force the Gum Gum Giant to come out here. Going to tap 1, -2. Discard a card, and then draw 2 cards. Give your leader plus 4k. Get out of that 10k swing into an 11k leader. And looks like we picked up a brick, and then was that another Kaido off the draw, or was that a Black Maria? Looks like a Black Maria. So ended up picking up brick and a 2k off of it. Still have the nice little another Gum Gum Giant in hand. Not too afraid here, and especially with him grabbing Sanji and then dumping it on the bottom of the deck. Basically means that there's no likelihood of like a rush Luffy coming down this turn, right? Like that's like a potential fear. It's just like more things coming in to try to clean up your board, just because he definitely needs those bodies to do something. But Blue Purple Luffy thinking a bit hard. We know he has a Red Rock in hand. That's just public knowledge. I know he has another Linlin in hand. Linlin could be just a play here, just take him back up another life. Could put the Sanji on life, right? Get rid of another character. And then kind of force Luffy again to be in this really awkward position of like, keep pressuring, but also keep adding to board to try to continue the pressure on the next turn. But potentially this might be enough, right? If we play the Big Mom and then hold up a Gum Gum Giant, we're gonna give a 2k. This is at the Sanji specifically. I think the potential play was to bait out some counter out of Luffy's hand here before we play out the Big Mom to just put that Sanji away anyways. We're going to play Big Mom. Big Mom, kind of -1 Don. Trash a card from hand. Is Red Rock going? No. Instead, it looks like a Rush Luffy, and we're going to gain 1 life. We're going to put the Sanji on the top, or on the bottom of life. And looks like just going to go into a pass. We do, in fact, have a Gum Gum Giant in hand, right? Both players do. It's a very popular card among the Purple Luffy decks. And now we're kind of in the situation where, gotta ultimately potentially play around Gum Gum and try to just play over it at this point. No blockers in hand right now. Just a whole lot of looks like 2Ks, a Sanji, and a Gum Gum Giant. Is Sanji a play? You would leave yourself with 4 Don left. You go 8, 8, 9, but like that's still really tough. 3 cards, I believe, in hand, or 4 cards in hand for good old purple blue Luffy. So unless he's completely bricked up, this could be the potential turn for Black Purple Luffy to go for it here. You could just go like could start with a 10, potentially. It's just really awkward with Beer Luffy, right? Minusing Dawn without actually getting full rewards out of it. But you could go 10 with Luffy and then potentially go the rest of it with anything else. That could be the play, right? 10 forces Gum Gum Giant plus another card, right? So it looks like we're going to go 10, and it looks like we're not going to do leader ability here. Arguably, the leader really might have been worth it here, because you can -2 Dawn, get 1 back, and still be up 1 more K, right, than you would have been. But instead we're going to do Gum Gum Giant. Going to pitch the Sanji, and draw 2 cards here, potentially hoping to find another piece of counter here. And then no, it looks like Gum Gum Giant failed him. Gum Gum Giant just took him up to 10 and didn't get him out of it. That is a green light for Black Purple Luffy to just slam the gas. We got 8 Dawn to work. We got 7 Dawn to work with. Might as well just swing 12k and see what happens. Especially with no Dawn up on his side, no blockers, no nothing. We're gonna go for it. And yeah, it's Brick City and good old Purple Blue Luffy's hand. It's like a Katakuri and a drop Secret Luffy and a whole bunch of events. Yeah, it looks like Black Purple Luffy was just able to clean it up. Unfortunately, if Luffy didn't brick off of that draw, he definitely would have been in a really great position. But yeah, unfortunately, that's what Blue Purple Luffy does sometimes. He bricks pretty hard, and kind of a difficult matchup for Black Purple, especially seeing what he needed to see, getting a lot of his board cleared, and then just Blue Purple Luffy doing Blue Purple Luffy things. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, definitely subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.